Olá, pessoal! Sejam muito bem-vindos ao Inglês de Verdade. Hoje temos um desafio especial. Você vai ouvir um mini podcast em inglês para colocar o seu listening à prova. Mas não para por aí. Depois de ouvir, você terá 5 perguntas para responder e testar de verdade a sua compreensão. E sabe o que é melhor? Além de treinar o ouvido, você vai expandir seu vocabulário e aprender expressões novas de forma natural. Ah, e se quiser acompanhar mais de perto, a legenda em inglês já está disponível no vídeo.
Have you ever stopped to notice just how much English is, well, everywhere? I mean, movies, instructions, even job applications all over the world. It really is everywhere. And when you shared your notes and articles on this, you asked something really interesting. Could learning English actually do more than just help you, say, order coffee or watch a film without subtitles? Could it genuinely, transform your life? So today, we're doing a deep dive into those very sources you gathered, exploring this idea that learning English isn't just acquiring a skill, it's more like opening a door, isn't it, to new possibilities, new ways of seeing things.
Exactly. And our goal here, digging into the material you brought together, is to unpack all that in a really accessible way. We're just chatting about some pretty surprising things we found in there. The mission, really, is to uncover those benefits you might not immediately think of, the ones that go way beyond the obvious stuff. You might be genuinely surprised by the ripple effects, especially when you look at the evidence you collected.
Okay, let's unpack this then, starting with maybe the most common one. Careers. When people think English, they often think work first. It's almost a given. Oh, it's good for the resume. But looking at the articles you shared, it feels like it's much, much more than just a checkbox, right? Your sources suggest it's actually a game changer, not just a minor point.
Oh, absolutely. That came through loud and clear in your sources, especially those reports from global employment agencies. English has shifted. It's gone from just being nice to have to being pretty much an essential tool in almost every professional field. Think about it. We live in a globalized world. Multinational companies, they need people who can just talk easily with partners, with colleagues in other countries. But it's not just the huge corporations. One of your case studies really highlighted this. Even smaller companies see massive value in hiring people who can handle international documents, talk to clients overseas, maybe even help them expand into English-speaking markets.
Right, so it allows them to play on a bigger stage, basically.
Precisely. And your data showed quite clearly having English can be the deciding factor, getting that job, getting that promotion. It also literally opens door. Think about opportunities like international business trips. And some of the professional development pieces you included, they pointed out it's increasingly a direct path to working abroad, a whole international career. So yeah, putting English on your resume, it's not just a little extra something. It's a real solid competitive edge. It can really set you apart.
That's fascinating. So it's filtering down even to smaller businesses, giving them that global reach potential. That's maybe not something everyone realizes. But okay, is it only about work? Because digging into your sources, we found something else, something maybe more personal. English isn't just a tool for the office. It's like a cultural passport. It really shapes how you experience the world. I mean, just think for a second about your favorite shows or music you listen to or those big movies everyone's talking about. You take in so much culture, but how much are you getting, directly in its original form?
That's a really powerful point your materials brought up. So much creative work, films, TV series, songs, books, even video games, starts life in English. When you learn the language, suddenly you don't need to wait for the translation or rely on subtitles, and you're not worrying if something got lost in translation, You get the original work just as the creator intended it. That connection, it doesn't just deepen your understanding of the story or the art. One of your cultural studies pieces explain how it actually boosts your cultural sensitivity. You connect on a deeper, unfiltered level.
Yeah, you're not getting someone else's interpretation through the subtitle.
Exactly. And that raises a big question, one that a linguistics article you found tackled head on.
Yeah.
How much are you missing with translations? Think about wordplay, puns, specific cultural references, jokes. So often they just don't translate properly. They lose their punch, their cleverness. Knowing English means you can appreciate all those little details, the nuances, exactly what the creator wanted you to feel or understand. It's like seeing the full picture in vivid color, not a faded copy.
Okay, so career benefits, deeper cultural access. But then there was this other thread in your sources that honestly surprised me a bit. The impact on your brain. And it turns out learning English isn't just about talking to people. It's actually a serious workout for your mind. I loved how one research paper you included called it a mental gym. That really stuck with me.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Lifting a new language is intense mental exercise. Think about it like one of the neuroscience articles you found put it, you're lifting weights in a mental gym. With every new word, every tricky sentence structure, every grammar rule you figure out, you're constantly pushing your cognitive functions, memory, attention, problem solving. Your sources mention how things like executive functions, the brain's management system, like focusing and ignoring distractions or juggling information in your working memory, they get a significant boost when you're navigating two languages.
So it makes your brain more efficient overall.
That's what the studies suggest. The research cited in your materials consistently shows that people who are bilingual, or even just actively learning, tend to develop better concentration. Their memories are often sharper, and they can even reason things out more quickly. So if you step back and look at the bigger picture, learning English isn't just about the language itself. You're training your brain to be more effective in lots of other areas of your life, too. It's a cognitive upgrade.
Wow. That's a benefit most people probably don't even consider. Okay, now let's shift gears a bit. Imagine this, and your travel blogs really brought this to life. You're traveling in a new country, and you're not worried about getting lost because you can read the signs, you can order food without just pointing, you're not feeling totally isolated because you can understand bits of conversation around you. That sounds like, well, real freedom, doesn't it?
It absolutely is, and those travel narratives you gathered painted that picture so well. Mastering English brings this incredible feeling of autonomy, confidence, independence, especially when you're traveling. You can navigate new places much more easily and crucially without constantly needing help. But it's more than just the practical side. It really empowers you to meet people, doesn't it? To make real connections with people from completely different backgrounds, connections you just couldn't make otherwise. Like one of the stories you shared pointed out, every single conversation in English becomes a chance to learn something new about the world and share a bit of yourself, too.
So it breaks down barriers.
Definitely. And there's another layer to this freedom, which your academic and tech articles really emphasized. English is also like this massive open door to global knowledge. Just think about this for a second. Most of the world's scientific breakthroughs, the latest tech developments, the cutting-edge academic research, it gets published in English first. The vast majority. If you have to wait for translations, you're always playing catch-up. You're a step behind.
Right. You're getting the information secondhand, maybe delayed.
Exactly. But if you can access it directly in English, you get immediate, unfiltered access to the newest ideas, the latest findings, the stuff that's literally shaping our future right now. It keeps you current, keeps you informed, connects you to the global conversation in real time.
That's huge. So it's personal freedom and intellectual freedom combined. Okay, finally, there's one more benefit. Your personal development pieces hinted at this, and it might seem subtle, but it feels incredibly powerful, maybe even overlooked. Self-confidence. It's not just about what English lets you do, but what the process of learning it does to you inside.
That's such an important point. Let's be honest, learning English is challenging, especially at the start. Pronunciation feels weird, grammar rules seem designed to confuse you, native speakers can sound incredibly fast. It can feel overwhelming.
Yeah, I think anyone who's tried knows that feeling.
Right. But as you stick with it, as you start noticing those small victories, maybe understanding a song you love without checking the lyrics for the first time, or managing a simple chat with someone from another country, or reading a whole news article in English, something amazing happens. This deep sense of pride starts to build up inside you.
That I did it feeling.
Exactly that. And this achievement, it's not just about the language skill itself. It's about proving something fundamental to yourself. Proving you can learn, you can push through difficulties, you can grow and evolve. One of your psychology articles explained this really well, that confidence doesn't stay contained. It naturally spills over into other parts of your life. You start thinking, hey, if I could figure out English, which seemed impossible, what else could I tackle? It builds this really powerful belief in your own potential that can be truly transformative.
So pulling all these different threads together from the sources you shared, what really comes through is that learning English genuinely seems like a profound transformation. It's not just about one thing, is it? It's like a whole package deal of interconnected benefits that reinforce each other.
Precisely. As your materials demonstrated so clearly, it touches so many areas. You're gaining an edge professionally, you're unlocking world culture, you're literally making your brain sharper, you're getting more personal freedom and autonomy, you're tapping into global knowledge, and maybe the cornerstone of it all, you're building this deep, resilient self-confidence. It really is an investment that just keeps paying dividends throughout your life.
Yeah, every bit of effort you put in seems to come back in ways you might not even expect right now. So maybe the thought to leave everyone with is this. Beyond just English, what other skills or knowledge might be out there waiting for you to pick up? Keys that could unlock a future filled with new opportunities, amazing experiences, and achievements you haven't even dreamed of yet. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into your insights.
Parabéns por chegar até aqui! Você acabou de treinar o seu listening, praticar sua compreensão em inglês e ainda expandir seu vocabulário. Se você gostou desse desafio, não esqueça de curtir o vídeo, se inscrever no canal e compartilhar com alguém que também quer aprender inglês de verdade. Lembre-se, cada prática é um passo a mais rumo à fluência. Continue firme, porque o inglês só fica mais fácil quando você insiste em praticar todos os dias. Muito obrigada por assistir e até o próximo desafio do Inglês de Verdade.
E se você assistiu até aqui e quer aprender inglês sem gastar um centavo durante todo o processo de aprendizagem, com acesso a ferramentas, atalhos e mentoria que vai fazer com que você absorva o inglês de forma rápida e natural, eu te convido a conhecer o método dos 9 Passos para a Fluência, onde você vai conhecer a forma correta de aprender o inglês.
Good. Now we can go in the water.
Com acesso a ferramentas que irão te auxiliar nesse aprendizado. E o melhor, todas encontradas de forma gratuita. E entre essas ferramentas, uma você usará para manter contato com nativos do inglês para que sua prática de conversação seja mais eficaz. Porque nada melhor do que absorver o inglês diretamente da fonte. E quando eu digo que essas ferramentas são gratuitas, eu não quero dizer que apenas o primeiro mês será grátis, como degustação. E que se você quiser continuar usando, você terá que pagar. Todas as ferramentas que serão apresentadas a você nesse método são gratuitas para o resto da vida, até quando você quiser usar. Esse método é perfeito para você que não tem ideia de como e por onde começar e para você que já tem um conhecimento em inglês, mas ainda não conquistou a fluência. Nele você será apresentado a atalhos que vão acelerar seu aprendizado que estudantes que estão começando não fazem ideia que existem. 99% das pessoas que colocarem esse método em prática, seguindo passo a passo, conseguirão realizar seu sonho de se tornar fluente em inglês. Então, se você acha que finalmente chegou a hora de realizar seu sonho e dominar de vez o inglês, clique no primeiro link da descrição, que eu tenho certeza que você não vai se arrepender.